In the heart of the hero clan, there is a young prodigy named Basara. At just 10 years old, he's already a B-rank hero, carrying the powerful legacy of his father, the god of war, who once drank the blood of an ancient evil dragon. His days are filled with peace and training, thanks to his father's triumph in stopping the war against the demon clan. But not everyone in the hero clan embraces this newfound peace. One rogue hero, unable to accept the truce, seeks out a secret demon weapon sealed within the village. Overwhelmed by the sword's dark power, the hero becomes possessed and unleashes chaos upon the once tranquil village. Horrified, Basara watches helplessly as the possessed hero goes on a deadly rampage, cutting down adults who desperately try to shield their children. The situation becomes even more dire when Basara's dearest friend, Yuki, finds herself in the line of fire. With his heart pounding and determination burning within him, Basara musters all the courage he can to protect her. Facing the possessed hero, Basara summons his godly powers, but loses control in the heat of the battle. A massive explosion erupts, wiping out the possessed hero, as well as the remains of those who had fallen. The blast devastates part of the village, leaving destruction in its wake. Though Basara had acted with the purest intentions, seeking to protect Yuki and their people, the village elders see him as a dangerous threat. They wish to execute him, but are unable to due to his father's immense power. Left with no other choice, the village strips Basara and his father of their hero status and banishes them, forcing them to confront an uncertain future in a world that now fears them. 5 years later, Basara meets his father at a restaurant, who drops a bombshell. Not only has he remarried, but Basara now has 2 new stepsisters. The revelation leaves Basara reeling, especially since his father had never mentioned anything about his mother before. As it turns out, Basara's origins are beyond complicated. His biological mother is the demon lord's sister, and during her pregnancy, he was magically transferred into the womb of one of the 10 strongest gods. With the blood of an ancient evil dragon, a god, and a demon flowing through his veins, Basara's life is about to get even more chaotic. Feeling overwhelmed, Basara heads to the restroom, only to accidentally walk in on a girl who'd forgotten to lock the door. Despite her mistake, she slaps him across the face in embarrassment. Minutes later, Basara discovers the girl is none other than his new stepsister, Maou, while the younger one is named Maria. The siblings soon move in together, and just when things seem to be settling down, Basara's father announces that he must embark on a world tour for his photography job. He leaves Basara in charge of looking after his newfound family. He comes back inside to find the lights off and Maou and Maria acting strangely. Maou demands that Basara leave the house, but he's baffled by her request. In response, Maria uses magic to fling him against the wall, revealing herself to be a demon and a lowly succubus. Maria explains that Maou is the future demon lord, and they've altered Basara's father's memories to take over the house as their base in the human world. Basara, filled with rage, summons the sacred demon sword and deflects Maria's magic. In a surprising turn of events, Basara reveals that he too possesses supernatural powers as a hero. Maou and Maria never expected to encounter a hero so far from the village. Basara orders them to leave, but the painful memories of his past, the same sword that led to the death of his friends and his banishment, weigh heavily on him. Basara calls his father, who admits he faked being under the demon's spell. His father explains that Maou is the daughter of the previous demon lord, Wilbert, who brokered peace between the demon and hero clans. However, demons killed Miao's father, and she was sent to the human realm for her safety. With her inherited power, she's now a target for the new demon lord's forces. Sensing danger nearby, Basara rushes to the mountains, where he spots Maou falling from a great height. He manages to save her just in time, and together they defeat the lurking shadow. The girls are puzzled by Basara's actions, but he tells them they're returning home because they're family, and now they must face the challenges ahead together. Once they return home, Maria suggests that Basara and Maou form a master-servant pact to strengthen their abilities and better face the new demon lord's forces. With Basara as the servant, he would be able to locate Maou when she's in danger. But as Maria is a succubus, she mischievously reverses the roles, making Basara Maou's master. If Maou disobeys Basara, she experiences extreme arousal, which can only be relieved through intimate contact, making them stronger in the process. The next day, Basara and Maou head to school together. As he introduces himself as a transfer student, Basara is shocked when Yuki, the girl he saved 5 years ago, unexpectedly hugs him in front of the class. She reveals that she is his childhood friend, which only fuels Maou's possessiveness over Basara. After clearing up the confusion, Basara befriends Takagawa, a fellow student who isn't jealous of his popularity among the girls. Once classes are over, Yuki approaches Basara, asking asking him to hang out so they can catch up on the years they've missed. As Basara and Yuki catch up at a cafe, she warns him to stay away from Maou. The hero village has discovered Mio's identity as a special S-rank demon and is preparing to attack her. Despite the danger, Basara wants to protect Maou because she inspires him to face his past, something he hasn't been able to do yet. After their meeting, Yuki saves Basara from a demon ambush and reveals that Mio's presence attracts demons, putting humans at risk. The next day, Maou becomes jealous of Yuki's closeness with Basara, which activates the pact seal and causes her to pass out. After taking Maou to the infirmary, Basara runs into Takagawa, but their conversation is interrupted by another demon attack. Rushing to find Maou, Basara discovers her on the rooftop, locked in battle with Yuki. Yuki wants Maou to leave Basara alone, explaining his painful past and how he's no longer a B-rank hero. But before the situation can escalate further, a masked stranger appears and reveals that Basara and Maria have been fighting demons non-stop to keep Maou from being targeted by the hero clan. As the masked stranger taunts Basara, a demon emerges from Maou's shadow and tries to attack her. Basara, still haunted by the memories of what happened in the village, hesitates to use his sword, fearing he won't be able to control his power. Instead, he uses his own body as a shield to protect Maou from harm. The masked guy seizes the opportunity to manipulate her. He tells Maou that her very existence causes pain to those around her and that she should make up her mind about her future. With this chilling message, the masked guy vanishes. Later, the Sorrow wakes up to find Maou gone. She has gone to confront the masked guy, determined to protect her loved ones. However, she finds herself outmatched and weakened. Yuki arrives to help Neil, but she too is quickly overpowered. The masked guy creates a massive magic ball and hurls it at Yuki, intending to crush her. Just in time, Basara appears and uses his banishing shift to erase the magic attack completely. The battle intensifies, with Basara baiting the masked guy into choking him, which creates an opening for Maria to shatter the masked guy's defensive barrier. Driven by his determination to protect those dear to him, Basara unleashes a barrage of powerful sword strikes, eventually causing the demon to explode. As Basara heads towards Maou to celebrate their victory, another demon suddenly appears and stabs him in the stomach. Maou's eyes fill with terror and, overwhelmed with emotion, she unleashes her full power, obliterating the demon with the sheer force of her voice. Worried she might lose control and inadvertently destroy the world, Maou begs Basara to kill her. But Basara firmly refuses, stating that he is not a hero, but her brother, and will do anything to protect his family, even if it means destroying the entire world. Summoning all his courage and strength, Basara pulls out his demon sword and concentrates his full power. He acknowledges his fears about hurting Maou but knows he must believe in himself and his growth since the tragic events 5 years ago. With a burst of energy, he uses his banishing shift to erase Maou's unstable power. The following day, Basara throws a punch at Takagawa. He knows Takagawa's true identity as the masked demon. Instead of engaging in battle, Basara proposes a deal. He'll pretend not to know Takagawa's identity if Takagawa agrees to delay his reports to the Demon Lord. This tense agreement, born from Basara's unwavering dedication to protecting his family, forges a delicate balance between the human, hero, and demon worlds. The very next day, Basara and the girls head out for a shopping trip, hoping for a day of relaxation and bonding. However, their day takes an unexpected turn when they are confronted by a group of 3 heroes. Basara's eyes widen as he recognizes them as his childhood friends. But instead of a heartfelt reunion like the one he experienced with Yuki, the group launches into a barrage of insults. Their words cut deep, accusing Basara of killing their parents 5 years ago, without any regard for the pain he's also been through. It's a stark contrast to the warmth and understanding he shared with Yuki. The hero group informs Basara that Maou has now become a target for elimination, and they have been tasked with apprehending her. However, they don't want to risk causing destruction in the city, so they propose to set up a barrier and face off in a week's time. For the following 7 days and nights, Basara and his sisters engage in rigorous training, pushing their limits and honing their skills. At the same time, they work to strengthen their master-servant contract, hoping it will give them an edge in the upcoming battle. The day of the showdown finally arrives, and the 2 groups meet up on a bridge, ready to settle their differences once and for all. But Basara is shocked to see Yuki standing alongside the hero group. As the barrier envelops the area, Basara wastes no time springing into action. He targets Kurumi, Yuki's younger sister, while the girls lure the other heroes into the mall. At first, Basara appears to be at a disadvantage, struggling against Kurumi's wind spirit magic. But in a twist, he employs his banishing shift and sends her flying out of a tall building. Before Kurumi can crash into the ground, Basara dives out of the building and catches her in a daring rescue. This reminds Kurumi of the kind-hearted person Basara was years ago. However, their tender moment is interrupted when Yuki appears, using sleeping incense to knock Basara out for the rest of the day. In a shocking betrayal, Yuki turns her back on the hero group and pledges her loyalty to Maou and Basara. She recalls how Basara protected them back then when she was weak, and despite her efforts to explain the truth, he was still exiled and left to suffer. But now that Yuki is stronger, she vows to protect him in return. Neil, however, knows that Yuki and Maria won't stand a chance against the formidable hero group. Desperate, she tries to rouse the unconscious Basara, who is tormented by nightmares of losing control of his power and killing his friend's parents. After many heart-wrenching screams and pleas, she finally succeeds in waking him up. Just as Yuki is on the brink of defeat, Basara arrives in the nick of time to save her. He tackles the leader of the hero group, provoking him to unleash his most potent ability, a massive, uncontrollable tiger beast. But Basara banishes the creature to the Shadow Realm with his banishing shift and brings the battle to a close. The hero group, witnessing Basara's power, has no choice but to retreat. The family, having emerged victorious from their recent battle, can finally breathe a sigh of relief and enjoy some much-deserved peace. However, their tranquility is short-lived when Yuki unexpectedly moves into their house. She has been given orders to supervise Maou more closely, and so their already unusual household dynamic becomes even more complicated. Despite the chaos, life starts to return to normal for everyone. But one day at school, Basara notices something odd. He catches a glimpse of Maria meeting with Takagawa. Maria plays it off as if it were nothing, claiming she simply asked a random person for directions. But Basara isn't condescending. 2 days later, an unexpected development occurs when a girl confesses her feelings to Basara and boldly makes a move on him. She even calls Maou to witness the scene, triggering the pact's side effects. However, Yuki is quick to notice that the girl is not human, but a demon sent to exploit Maou's pact with Basara and weaken her. Desperate to find Maou after she runs away, Basara follows her to a location where he sees her with Maria and another demon. Suspecting the demon intends to harm them, Basara draws his sword, but the demon casts a spell, disappearing along with Maou and Maria. Frustrated, Basara tries to use the pact seal to locate Maou, but it doesn't work. With no other options, Basara turns to Takagawa for information. Takagawa reveals that the demon who abducted the girls is working for Zalja, the very demon responsible for the deaths of Mio's foster parents. Zalja's sinister plan is to force Mio to submit to him, allowing him to absorb the power she inherited from her father. The shocking truth about Maria is also revealed. She has been working for Zalja against her will, as her mother is being held captive. Determined to save Maou, Basara tries to make a deal with Takagawa, but the demon double-crosses him, capturing him instead. Basara is then taken to Zetz, Zalja's demon servant, who intends to trade the unconscious Basara for Maou. Zest is hesitant to accept the deal, but Takagawa threatens to report Zalja's actions to the demon lord, who would view them as betrayal. Reluctantly, Zetz agrees, but under one condition: Takagawa's death. She pierces him in the chest, seemingly killing him, and takes Basara with her. Hours later, Basara awakens, tied to a bed inside Zalja's castle. Maria appears and attempts to seduce him, but Basara urges her to trust him rather than trying to save her mother alone. Maria doubts Basara's ability to defeat a high-ranking demon like Zalja and reveals her true succubus form. Casting an enchanting spell on Basara, he momentarily loses control but manages to bite his lip, regaining his senses. Basara summons his sword and declares his determination to save his family. Seeing hope in Basara's words, Maria decides to fight him. However, Basara refuses to strike back, insisting he doesn't believe Maria is a traitor. Maria fears that siding with Basara will result in her mother's death, as Zalja is watching them. Even as Maria continues to attack, Basara embraces her in a warm hug, causing her to break down in tears, filled with regret. Meanwhile, Yuki has infiltrated Maou's room and defeated Zest. When Basara stabbed his sword into the ground earlier, he inadvertently erased the castle's camouflage spell, allowing Yuki to find them. However, just after Zest's defeat, Zalja appears, intending to make Maou and Yuki his new toys. Basara arrives just in time to stop him. Zalja launches a mental attack against Basara, but he breaks free with sheer willpower alone. As Basara struggles against Zalja, using his sword but failing to find a counter, Zalja casts powerful magic. Basara tries to counter with his banishing shift, but the magic proves too strong to be nullified. Growing tired of the battle, Zalja casts a mind-breaking spell on Basara, causing him immense pain. Unable to bear watching Basara suffer, Maria decides to attack Zalja. However, he's prepared for her move and forces her to make a choice by showing live footage of her captive mother. Maria, believing in Basara, chooses to save her friends. In response, Zalja snaps his fingers, seemingly causing Maria's mother to explode. Maou, witnessing another death and understanding Maria's reasons for betrayal, unleashes the power she inherited from her father. Zalja reveals that his true goal was to trigger Maou's power so he could absorb it for himself. As he tries to restrain Maou and take her power, he loses his hand when he touches her. Zalja realizes that Maou has released her own power, not her father's. Overwhelmed by her newfound strength, Maou is determined to exact revenge on Zalja for killing her foster parents. But Basara stops her, explaining that killing Zalja won't bring true satisfaction. While they share this emotional moment, Zalja seizes the opportunity to escape. Just as the group prepares to chase him, Maria's mother appears, alive and well. It turns out that Takagawa's actions were part of a deal. He wanted to personally kill Zalja as a form of revenge for Maou's parents, who had taken care of him. Takagawa had saved Maria's mother using a magic puppet and faked her death. Zalja's attempt to flee leads him straight into the clutches of Takagawa, who had been alive all along. After the heartfelt reunion, Basara enters a room where Takagawa stands, ready to execute Zalja. As Zalja desperately tries to bargain for his life, Basara watches with steely determination. He refuses to show any sympathy for the one who tried to harm his family. With a powerful blast, Zalja's head is obliterated. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.